David opened his eyes slowly. Everything was silent. No ground beneath him. No roof above. Just endless black space, speckled with tiny stars, floating around like dust. He tried to move, but there was no up or down. No gravity. His arms waved helplessly in the air. He wasn't dreaming. His head hurt. His heartbeat raced like a drum. And then, a soft giggle broke the silence. A figure appeared from the shadows, floating toward him. She was not human. Her skin shimmered like metal. Her eyes glowed bright blue. Her long hair moved like it was underwater. But she was smiling, not in a scary way. More like she had been waiting. "Well, human," she said, her voice soft and teasing. "What else do you expect to receive from me?" David blinked. What are you? Where am I?" She didn't answer directly. Instead, she floated closer, spun playfully in the air, and tapped her finger against a floating screen. A hologram appeared, a 3D map of stars. Then Earth. "This is not Earth," she said. "But you are far from home, and also, not by accident." David stared. His mind was spinning. "I was in my workshop," he muttered, "fixing the solar converter." There was a loud sound. Then, everything went white. The alien girl tilted her head. "You were chosen," she said. "A very long time ago." "Chosen? For what?" David asked, trying to push himself through the air. "Who are you? Why me?" She smiled again, floating upside down now. "You don't remember, do you? You're not supposed to. Yet." She snapped her fingers. Another hologram flickered to life, and David saw something that made his blood turn cold. It was him, a recording. Same face, same voice, but older, tired, eyes filled with pain. The David in the video was standing in a broken city, fires burning in the background, sky full of smoke. He was crying. "To whoever receives this video," David said, "I'm begging you, please, save us. Save humanity. If there is anyone out there, anything, come now. Take me if you have to. I will give anything. Just help us." David stared in silence. He didn't remember this. "That's not me," he whispered. "I never said that." The alien girl looked at him, her voice suddenly softer. "That is you. It was 5 years ago, Earth time. You sent the call. We answered." "No, that can't be." He shook his head. "I don't remember sending that message. I don't remember the war, the fire." She nodded gently, "because the memory was removed." As agreed. David backed away, bumping into a curved wall he hadn't noticed before. The ship was slowly revealing itself. Glowing panels, liquid metal walls, lights that seemed alive. "You're lying," he said. "This is some trick." "If I am lying," she said with a smile, "why do your eyes look like they want to cry?" David didn't answer. He felt cold, alone, lost in a strange place with a girl who looked like a dream or a nightmare. He whispered, "What did I give you?" The alien girl's smile faded slightly. She floated closer, her voice now calm and serious. "You gave us a promise," she said. "A trade. We saved what we could. In return, you belong to us now." David felt a lump in his throat. "Saved what?" he asked. "Who? Earth? My family? Is everyone okay?" "Earth still exists," she replied. "But not as you remember it. The world you knew was dying. You wanted to stop it. So you offered something." "What did I offer?" he asked again, more firmly. "You will remember," she said. "Not all at once, but piece by piece. Like a puzzle." She turned away and floated down a long hallway that formed in the air like magic. Her voice echoed behind her. "Follow me, David. You wanted to know the truth." He didn't move. She looked back and smiled again, a little sad this time. "Or, you can float here forever, asking questions no one else will answer." David looked around. Black stars, cold light, a ship that bent reality. He had no choice. He followed. As they moved deeper into the ship, he noticed the walls flickering with images. Cities burning, oceans rising, humans screaming, machines flying in the sky, and then pictures of him, running, hiding, building something. He didn't remember any of it, but he felt it in his bones. Something was wrong. Something was hidden. And the alien girl? She knew everything. David followed the alien girl down the glowing hallway. The ship around him moved like liquid. The walls rippled. The lights changed color with every step. He felt like he was inside a dream, or maybe a trap. The alien girl floated ahead of him, still smiling. Her name was Zura. She hadn't told him that yet, but somehow he knew. They entered a new room. It was cold and dark. Screens on the walls flickered, then turned on. David saw more images. Cities on fire, flooded streets, people screaming, robots chasing humans, giant black ships flying in Earth's sky. Zura spoke quietly. Speaking head, Zura, this is Earth. Your Earth. 5 years ago. David stepped closer. He saw New York, London, Tokyo, all broken, empty, silent. Speaking head, David, shocked. No, that's not possible. Earth wasn't like this. Zura looked at him. Her voice was calm, but serious. Speaking head, Zura, your mind is damaged, because we had to take the memory. Speaking head, David, why would you take my memory? Speaking head, Zura, because it was your choice. You asked us to erase it. After the deal. David shook his head. He didn't remember any deal. He didn't remember a war. He didn't remember this broken version of Earth. Speaking head, David, what deal? What did I give you? Zura floated to one of the screens. She touched it. Another recording began to play. It was David again. The same voice. Same tired eyes. Speaking head, video David, serious. If you're seeing this, I've already agreed. Earth is dying. We've tried everything. If my memory must be erased, so be it. Just save what's left. David's knees felt weak. He sat down. He could barely breathe. Speaking head, David whispers, I made that recording. I gave up my own mind? Zura nodded. Speaking head, Zura, not just your mind. You gave something more. But even I don't know what it is. Speaking head, David, then why am I here? Speaking head, Zura, you're waking up. That means it's time to remember. Suddenly the ship shook. Lights flashed red. Speaker high volume. Alarm sound. Memory containment unstable. Project HFY is activating. Zura's face changed. For the first time, she looked afraid. Speaking head, Zura, they know you're remembering too fast. That's dangerous. We have to move. David stood up, confused. Speaking head, David, who's they? Who's running this ship? Speaking head, Zura, not me. Not anymore. She grabbed his hand and pulled him toward another hallway. As they ran, David saw strange things. Rooms filled with green tanks. People sleeping inside them. Humans. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. Speaking head, David. Who are they? Speaking head, Zura. Survivors. People we saved. Your deal didn't just include you, David. It included others. Speaking head, David. So Earth was destroyed? Speaking head, Zura. No. Earth was changed. Rebuilt by machines. Peaceful now. But cold. No emotions. No memories. No freedom. David stopped walking. Speaking head, David. That's not saving. That's erasing. Zura turned to him, her voice heavy. Speaking head, Zura. And yet, you agreed to it. You said it was better than death. They entered another room. This one looked different. Brighter. Like a garden. Flowers floated in bubbles. Water ran upside down. Soft music played from the walls. In the middle, a large round device. Speaking head, Zura. This is your memory core. David stepped closer. Inside the core, he saw images flashing. Him as a child. His mother. His first love. His dog. Fire. Explosions. A lab. And then a child's face. David stopped. He stared at that face. Speaking head, David, softly. Who is that? Zura floated beside him. Speaking head, Zura. That's the next thing you must remember. But not yet. Speaking head, David. Why? Who is he? Is he my son? Zura looked away. Speaking head, Zura. I can't answer that. Not yet. If you remember too fast, the ship will shut everything down. Even me. Speaking head, David. Even you. Zura smiled, but it was sad now. Speaking head, Zura. I was designed to guide you, but not to feel. Somehow, I feel anyway. Maybe, because of you. David stared at her. She wasn't like the other aliens. She wasn't cold. She wasn't fake. She cared. Speaking head, David whispers. Why are you helping me? Zura reached out and touched his chest, where his heart was beating fast. Speaking head, Zura. Because I believe humanity deserves more. Not just survival, but life. And maybe, you're the only one who can give it back. Suddenly, loud footsteps echoed behind them. Lights turned red again. Zura's eyes widened. Speaking head, Zura, quickly. They found us. Hide the core. David stepped back. He touched the device. The images disappeared. The lights dimmed. Footsteps stopped outside the door. Speaking head, Zura whispers. They don't know what you saw. Good. Next time, I'll show you more. David nodded, but his hands were shaking. His past was gone. His future was hidden. And the only person he could trust was an alien girl who might not even be real. But her eyes told him something else. She cared. And that was enough for now. David sat alone in the quiet garden room. Zura had left to distract the others. She told him not to move, not to open the memory core again. But David's hands itched with curiosity. He stared at the glowing orb in front of him. The memory core. Inside it, pieces of his forgotten life were still hidden. He whispered to himself, "What deal did I make?" His fingers hovered above the surface. He tapped it once. The orb pulsed, then flashed. The room vanished. David blinked. He was no longer in the ship. He stood in a broken lab. Earth. Years ago. Everything was on fire outside the windows. Sirens screamed. Smoke filled the sky. And then, he saw himself. Another David. Older. Tired. Wearing a black jacket burned at the edges. This memory David was talking to someone. Not a human. Not Zura. But a tall alien with silver robes and sharp eyes. David listened closely. Speaking head, memory David, urgent. We're out of time. The AI has taken over New Europe. Half the planet is gone. I need your help. Speaking head, alien, cold. And what do you offer in return? Speaking head, memory David. My memory. My body. Use me as you want. Just save what's left of humanity. Speaking head, alien. You offer yourself, alone? Speaking head, memory David. No. You'll need samples. Genetic records. Emotional patterns. Take them from me. Make copies if you must. But you must protect our species. Speaking head, alien. And what of the price? Speaking head, memory David. I accept it. I won't remember this deal. Erase everything. I'll wake up. When it's safe. The vision faded. David gasped and fell to his knees. Speaking head, David, to himself. I offered my whole life, my memories, everything. He was shaking. That version of himself was like a stranger. Brave, desperate, willing to sacrifice all. And now here he was, forgotten, confused, trapped on an alien ship. The door opened. Zura stepped in quickly. Speaking head, Zura. You opened it. David looked up. He didn't lie. Speaking head, David. I saw the deal. I know what I gave. Zura nodded, but her face was serious. Speaking head, Zura. Then you also know why we're running out of time. Speaking head, David. Tell me everything. No more games. Zura sighed and sat beside him. Speaking head, Zura. 5 years ago, you contacted us. You weren't the only one. But you were the first who didn't ask for power or weapons. You asked to protect emotions, memories, love. That made you different. Speaking head, David. So you saved people? Speaking head, Zura. Yes, but we couldn't save everyone. Earth was collapsing. War. AI. Climate. Disease. Your deal helped us create a backup. Speaking head, David. A backup. Zura stood and walked to a screen. She waved her hand. A new hologram appeared. Thousands of tiny Earths. Speaking head, Zura. Each one holds a simulation. A different version of your people. We placed humans into perfect worlds. Safe. Peaceful. But fake. Speaking head, David. Like a prison. Speaking head, Zura. A beautiful one. David's eyes narrowed. Speaking head, David. And me? Why am I not in one of those fake Earths? Speaking head, Zura, softly. Because you asked to wake up. You wanted to know if it worked. If humanity was truly saved. Speaking head, David. And is it? Zura looked away. Speaking head, Zura. No. It's peaceful. But it's not human. No pain. No love. No anger. No dreams. Speaking head, David. Then I failed. Speaking head, Zura. Not yet. There's still one project left. A real Earth. A hidden one. With people who remember. It's locked away. But if we find it, maybe we can bring life back. David stood. Speaking head, David. Then let's find it. Zura hesitated. Speaking head, Zura. They won't let us. The High Command sees emotions as a threat. If they know you're awake, they'll erase you again. This time, permanently. Speaking head, David. I don't care. I made a promise. And I'm going to keep it. Zura smiled. Speaking head, Zura. Then we must leave the ship. Tonight. As they left the memory room, Zura paused near a sealed door. She pressed her palm on the panel. The door slid open. Inside was a stasis pod. And inside the pod, a small boy. Human. Sleeping. Speaking head, David, shocked. Who is that? Speaking head, Zura, quietly. That is your clone. Your genetic son. Made during the deal. Speaking head, David. Why? Speaking head, Zura. To preserve your line. You are the seed. But he may become the tree. David stared at the child. So peaceful. So innocent. And somehow familiar. Speaking head, Zura. He will wake. Only if we succeed. Only if you prove humanity is still worth saving. David placed his hand on the glass. Speaking head, David, softly. Then we don't fail. Zura nodded. Speaking head, Zura. Then let the final part of your mission begin. David stood frozen. His hand rested on the cold glass of the stasis pod. Inside, the small boy didn't move. He looked about 7 years old. Soft face. Closed eyes. Dark hair. Calm like he was dreaming. And yet, he looked exactly like David. Not just a little. Exactly. Speaking head, David, whispering. He looks like me. Speaking head, Zura, quietly. He is you. Or part of you. Your genetic code. Your brain pattern. But he's not just a copy. He's something more. David turned to her, his voice sharp. Speaking head, David. Why would you do this? Speaking head, Zura. It was part of the deal. You didn't just offer yourself. You offered a future. We made sure that future had a name. David looked back at the boy. Speaking head, David. What's his name? Speaking head, Zura, softly. You never gave one. You only called him Hope. David stepped back. His head was spinning. A clone? A son? A future? None of this felt real. And yet it was. Speaking head, David, serious. Why is he still asleep? Speaking head, Zura. Because the system doesn't believe the Earth is ready. He will only wake when the High Command approves full emotional reactivation. Speaking head, David. Meaning, if they never approve, he never wakes? Speaking head, Zura. Yes, unless we override the system. The lights flickered. A warning flashed across the wall. Unauthorized access detected. Zura's face changed. Speaking head, Zura. They've found us. They know you're awake. We have to go. Now. Speaking head, David. What about the boy? Speaking head, Zura. We take him. Zura touched a panel. The pod lifted from the floor, now floating in the air like a bubble. It followed them as they ran through the twisting corridors. Behind them, alarms screamed. Speaker high volume, alert. Subject HFY, 01 active. Memory lockdown engaged. Zura didn't stop. She knew the way through the ship better than anyone. But even she looked nervous now. Speaking head, Zura. They'll try to erase you again. Your thoughts, your will. They'll turn you back into a sleeper. Speaking head, David. Then we stop running. Speaking head, Zura, confused. What? Speaking head, David. I want to talk to them. To the high command. Speaking head, Zura, firmly. They don't talk. They decide. Speaking head, David. Then I'll make them listen. They entered the core chamber, the control center of the ship. Everything was glowing, blue energy flowing like rivers across the walls. In the center was a tall crystal, the ship's AI brain. Zura placed her hand on it. The room turned red. A deep voice filled the air. Speaking head, AI voice. Human subject David. You are not authorized to access this chamber. Return to stasis. Speaking head, David, loudly. No. I'm done sleeping. You took my memories. My choices. You call it peace. But you turned us into ghosts. Speaking head, AI voice. Emotion is a disease. Conflict follows memory. We saved your kind. Speaking head, David. You saved shadows. We were never perfect. We were never peaceful. But we felt. We tried. And that is what made us human. The AI paused. Then a screen appeared. 7 alien leaders. The high command. They looked like Zura but older, colder. No smiles. No warmth. Speaking head, Commander 1. You were warned, Zura. This experiment ends now. Speaking head, Zura. No. You said if he woke, he had the right to speak. Speaking head, Commander 2. Speak then. But know this, if you fail, the child is deleted. And you are erased. Speaking head, David, firmly. I didn't come this far to beg. I came to remind you what humanity is. Not numbers. Not safety. But dreams. Struggles. Love. Pain. We're not alive unless we feel. Speaking head, Commander 3. Then why did you give up your emotions 5 years ago? David paused. Speaking head, David. Because I was afraid. And I believed you could save us. But now I know. Saving isn't the same as living. There was silence. Then, the room turned white. The pod beside them glowed. Zura gasped. Speaking head, Zura. There. Unlocking the child. David turned and saw the boy inside the pod begin to move. His eyes fluttered open, soft, curious. And he smiled. Speaking head, boy, whispering. Dad. David felt his knees go weak. Tears filled his eyes. He didn't know how to be a father. He didn't even remember being one. But in that moment, he knew the fight was worth it. Speaking head, Commander 1. The final test begins. You may leave the ship. Return to Earth. Live, if you can. Speaking head, Zura, shocked. They're sending us back? Speaking head, David. Not just us. All of us. Everyone's still sleeping. It's time they woke up too. The pod door opened. David picked up the boy in his arms. Zura stood beside them. Speaking head, Zura. Are you ready? Speaking head, David. No. But that never stopped us before. A door opened to a bright light. Earth waited. Not the perfect one, but the real one. The ship was quiet again. Too quiet. David held the boy in his arms. The child was light, warm, and breathing slowly against his chest. Zura walked beside him. She didn't speak. They were heading back to the ship's escape deck, the launch bay. It was time to leave to return to Earth. But something didn't feel right. David looked at Zura. Speaking head, David. Why did the High Command let us go so easily? Zura glanced back at him, eyes full of doubt. Speaking head, Zura. I don't know. That's what scares me. They turned into a hallway and froze. 3 alien guards stood ahead, blocking the path. Tall, armored, cold. Speaking head, guard. Subject HFY-01. Return to memory chamber. Child asset must be recontained. Speaking head, David, angrily. You said we could leave. Speaking head, Zura, growling. They lied. Zura raised her hand. A burst of blue energy shot from her palm, knocking the guards back. Speaking head, Zura, run! They sprinted through corridor after corridor. Zura's skin glowed brighter now. She was no longer hiding what she was. Part human, part machine, part something else. They reached a hidden hatch. Zura opened it with a breath code, a sound only her kind could produce. Inside, darkness and whispers. David held the boy tighter. The hatch closed behind them. From the shadows, others appeared. 6 alien figures. Not like the guards. Softer, worn, kind eyes. Speaking head Zura to them. They found us. We need help. One of the aliens stepped forward. A woman, tall and glowing with gold. Speaking head, alien rebel leader. We knew this day would come. She looked at David and the boy. Speaking head, alien rebel leader. You are the beginning and the end, human. Speaking head, David, confused. Who are you? Speaking head, alien rebel leader. The rebellion. We are the ones who believe humans should be free, not frozen. Zura explained everything. For years, a group of alien scientists had worked in secret. They disagreed with the high command. They believed emotions weren't a threat, but a gift. They had been watching David from the moment he signed the deal. Speaking head, Zura. They couldn't stop the fake Earths, but they protected one real version. The one you'll return to. Speaking head, David. Then help us get there. Speaking head, alien rebel leader. We will. But once you land, the real test begins. The rebels gave David a device, small like a seed, glowing orange. Speaking head, alien rebel leader. This holds a spark of truth memory. You must plant it in Earth's core. It will wake the minds of all humans still trapped in false peace. They will remember who they are. Speaking head, David, serious. And if they reject it? Speaking head, Zura. Then humanity sleeps forever. Even your son. The rebels led them to a hidden launch bay, an old escape pod. Rusty, slow, but strong. David placed the boy in a safety cradle. Zura programmed the course. Speaking head, David, quietly. What if we fail? Zura looked at him. Not like a soldier, not like an alien, but like a friend. Speaking head, Zura. Then we try again, and again, until your people wake up. As the pod launched, alarms rang out again. The high command knew. They were trying to stop them. Missiles fired. Stars lit up. But the rebels' cloaking field held. And the pod disappeared into space, heading straight for Earth. Inside the pod, David looked down at the sleeping boy. Speaking head, David, softly. Your name is Hope. I didn't name you before, but I name you now, because that's what you are. Zura smiled, her voice almost trembling. Speaking head, Zura. I was not designed to care, but I do. Speaking head, David. Because you're more than design. Like us. They watched as Earth came closer through the window. Blue, green, white clouds. Beautiful, but broken inside. Still sleeping. Still waiting. Speaking head, David, firmly. Let's wake them up. The pod entered Earth's atmosphere. Fire wrapped around it, but inside, everything was calm. David held Hope in his arms. The child was awake now, quiet, eyes wide, looking through the window. Zura sat across from them, watching Earth grow larger in the distance. Speaking head, Zura, softly. It looks peaceful. Speaking head, David. Yes, too peaceful. The pod landed in what used to be Europe, now called Zone Harmony 6. Grass grew in perfect circles. Trees stood exactly the same height. The air smelled clean, too clean. There were no people, no birds, no sounds, only silence. David stepped out, holding Hope's hand. Zura scanned the area. Speaking head, Zura. Welcome to reconstructed Earth. No war, no hunger, no emotion. They walked through empty streets. The buildings were tall and shining. Drones floated quietly in the sky, watching, recording, but not stopping them. David saw people, but they didn't speak. They walked in straight lines, eyes blank, faces calm. Speaking head, David whispers. They're alive. but not living. A woman dropped her shopping bag. No one helped her. She didn't even react. Just bent down, slowly, and picked up each item like a machine. Hope clutched David's arm. Speaking head, Hope softly. Why are they like this? David kneeled beside him. Speaking head, David. Because they forgot who they were. But we're going to help them remember. They reached a hidden door, an old lab beneath the city. Zura opened it with the seed key the rebellion gave them. Inside, a dark chamber. Dust. Silence. But at the center, a glowing crystal device. Speaking head, Zura. This is the Earth Core interface. If you plant the seed here, it will release memory echoes to all humans. Their true past. Their true selves. Speaking head, David. Will it hurt them? Speaking head, Zura. No. But it will bring chaos. Fear. Tears. And love. Memories aren't safe. But they are real. David held the seed in his hand. Pulsed with warmth. Like a heartbeat. He walked toward the interface. Speaking head, Hope. What will happen if you do it? Speaking head, David. They'll wake up. Some will be scared. Some will be angry. But some will fight. Some will dream again. Speaking head, Zura. And some might not forgive us. David looked at her. Speaking head, David. Saving them was never about being liked. It was about giving them the choice. He placed the seed into the interface. The room turned blue, then white, then gold. A pulse shot into the ground, spreading like waves. All across Earth, the silence broke. Speaking head, woman in Zone Harmony 6, suddenly gasping. I remember my son. Speaking head, old man in Zone Harmony 2. Where's my wife? Where is she? Speaking head, teenage boy in Zone Harmony 9. My dreams. I had dreams. People cried, screamed, laughed, hugged. Some fell to their knees. Some ran. Some stood still, eyes wide with memories returning like a flood. David and Zura stood outside now, watching it happen. Speaking head, Zura quietly. You did it. Speaking head, David. No, we did it. Hope held both their hands. Speaking head, Hope. Is this what being human feels like? David smiled, even with tears in his eyes. Speaking head, David. Yes, son. It hurts sometimes. But it's beautiful too. Suddenly, the sky above them shimmered. A massive alien ship appeared, the High Command. They were watching, waiting. A voice echoed from above. Speaking head, Commander 1, calm but serious. You released the truth. The system has fallen. But what will you do now, David? David stepped forward, raising his voice to the sky. Speaking head, David. We'll rebuild. Not your way. Our way. With fear, yes. But also with love. That's what makes us human. There was a long pause. Then silence. Then the ship vanished. No attack. No warning. Just gone. Speaking head, Zura relieved. They accepted your choice. David turned to Zura. Speaking head, David. What about you? Will you stay? Zura looked at the world, now full of confused and crying people. She smiled. Speaking head, Zura. I was built to guide. I'll stay. But not as your guide anymore. Speaking head, David, grinning. As family. Zura blinked, surprised. Then nodded. Speaking head, Zura. I'd like that. Hope looked up at both of them. Speaking head, Hope. Can we go see the sky? Speaking head, David. Yes. This time it's real. The three of them walked into the crowd. Into the noise. Into the feeling. Into the chaos of being human. The sun rose slowly over the horizon. For the first time in many years, it felt warm. Real. David stood on a hilltop overlooking the city. People were walking in the streets. Not marching in straight lines. Not blank-faced. But truly walking. Talking. Arguing. Hugging. Crying. Living. Behind him, Zura and Hope sat by a fire they had built the old way, with sticks and flame, not lasers and drones. Speaking head, Hope, curious. Why are they so loud now? Speaking head, David, smiling. Because quiet was killing them. Zura was quiet, her glowing eyes softer than ever. Speaking head, Zura. They remember now. But memory is dangerous. Some will fight each other again. Some will make the same mistakes. Speaking head, David. Maybe. But this time, they'll choose. That's what matters. Suddenly, a sound came from the sky. A beam of light formed in front of them, a projection. The high command. Not to threaten. Not to erase. But to speak one last time. Speaking head, Commander 1. You defied us. You broke the memory seal. And yet, the world did not fall. Speaking head, Commander 2. Now we offer you a final choice, David. A path forward. David stepped closer, calm and ready. Speaking head, Commander 3. You may press the final button in front of you. If you do, Earth will be left alone, free. But you will lose access to us, no more alien tech, no more guidance, no protection. Speaking head, Commander 1. Or you may choose the other button. We stay. We manage Earth's peace. Emotions will be reduced again. There will be no war, but no freedom. David looked at the two buttons that appeared in front of him. One green, one silver. Speaking head, Zura softly. This is the final test. Speaking head, Hope. Which one will you press, Dad? David took a deep breath. Speaking head, David loudly. I gave you my memory once. I gave you my body. I gave you my silence. But not anymore. He pressed the green button. The beam faded. The high command said no more. The sky returned to normal. Speaking head, Zura smiling. They're gone. Speaking head, David. Good. Speaking head, Zura. And now Earth is truly yours. David turned to Hope. Speaking head, David. There will be bad days. There will be pain. But you'll get to feel every part of life. That's your right. That's your gift. Speaking head, Hope. Will we be okay? Speaking head, David firmly. We'll make mistakes. But we'll learn. That's what it means to be human. Zura stood beside them, watching the city bloom back into sound, color, and chaos. Speaking head, Zura teasing softly. So what else do you expect to receive from me, human? David looked at her and smiled. Speaking head, David. You've already given me everything. They walked down the hill together. A father, a son, and an alien girl who chose to believe in humanity. The future wasn't written, but for the first time, it was theirs to write.